Happy birthday to me! Hey everybody, it's Ian the Off-Kilter Crafter. I hope you're having a great day today. It is time to recap everything that I got accomplished in May, and the most recent thing that I accomplished was having a birthday. I don't know if I can really accomplish having a birthday, but I did. I had a birthday. I just turned 38. Not a big milestone this year, but that's okay. I'm just happy to be here, to be honest. I worked all day, so I didn't do anything too spectacular, but I definitely enjoyed the day and had a lot of fun just being on low-key, I guess is the best way to put it. But yeah, I'll definitely have some fun hopefully over the weekend. I have another friend who actually has the same birthday that I do, and he's turning 50 this year. So I'll go enjoy having a party over with him and all of his friends. But yeah, kind of low-key this year, and I'm okay with that. But enough about my birthday. Let's talk about everything that I got accomplished in the month of May, and it was a lot. In fact, I didn't realize how much I got done until I sat down to make this video. So let's start off with the first part. The first thing that I got accomplished was finishing the Type It quilt that I made out of a Halloween jelly roll. I finally got the chance to put the binding on after getting it back from my quilter, Nancy. She did an amazing job with it, and I finally had the chance to actually sit down and get the binding all put on. It looks wonderful, and I have a feeling I know exactly who this quilt is going to go to. It's going to be a surprise for them. So stay tuned. I hopefully will have an update once they get it, but that'll come later this month, hopefully. And I'll let you know how they liked it, or maybe they didn't like it. I think they're going to like it though. Halloween is one of their favorite holidays, and I have the feeling that they are going to love it. By the way, if you want to rewatch the live streams that I did for that quilt, you can check them out. I'll put a link to them down in the description box below, and you can check out the playlist for that quilt. Another finish that I had was the Olympia Puzzle Mystery Quilt. Now, if you've been a Puzzle Mystery Quilt fan for a while, you know that we finished Olympia a while ago. I did get it back from my quilter, Nancy, a couple of months ago, and I needed to put the binding on and just kind of procrastinated on it a little bit. But I finally got the binding on, and I knew exactly where this quilt needed to go. A friend of mine saw the green and black on it and loved how it was highlighted in those colors, and I knew it needed a home with them. So I finished it out and got it all ready, shipped it out to them for their birthday, and got a text message that they loved it. So I'm super excited. It has a loving home, and hope that they enjoy it for many years to come. Now, another project that I was able to finish was a quilt top that I'm calling the Red Queen's Rose Garden. Now, if you know anything about Tula Pink, you know several years ago she came out with a line called Curiouser and Curiouser, and in that line it features Alice in Wonderland and the Red Queen and the painted roses and all sorts of fun stuff. I knew I wanted to do something with it because I bought way too many bolts. Well, I didn't buy bolts, but it feels like it. I bought a lot of yardage of those painted roses, and I knew I needed to do something with them. And the idea and inspiration struck me one day that I wanted to tell a story. Now, as you can see in this quilt, we have the Red Queen in the top left corner and Alice down in the bottom right corner. And the story that I'm kind of telling with this quilt is that Alice is hiding in the painted rose garden of the Red Queen. There's even a hidden Cheshire cat causing mischief, and I love how it turned out, to be honest. It's got the green lattice all around, kind of boxing in that garden, and I just love that it kind of tells a story. I don't know if other people are going to get it, but at least that's the story that I'm telling with it, and I hope that you can kind of see that story being told in this quilt top. I am excited to get it finished in the future, and hopefully we'll be entering it into shows because I feel it is very unique, and I hope that others get the story as well. I think they kind of will, especially with the descriptor plate next to it, but we'll see. Look for it in future videos. Now, also in the month of May, I had the chance to spend a kind of retreat weekend with my friend Leo. If you don't know who he is, Leo Ransom is an amazing portrait quilter. And back in 2019, he actually came and talked to my guild because he is here in Texas, not too far from where I'm at. and he taught the class on portrait quilting, and I wasn't able to take the class, unfortunately, because at that time I was working Saturdays, so couldn't take the class. And I've always wanted to kind of do a makeup class to learn the techniques of portrait quilting, and I've always kind of had an idea for a Lady Gaga portrait because I love Lady Gaga. She inspires me a lot, and she has some very unique looks as well that I thought would be perfect for a portrait quilt. And so we sat down and made it a Gaga weekend. Both he and I worked on Gaga quilts, Lady Gaga quilts that is, and made portrait quilts using Lady Gaga as the subject matter. And honestly, I could not be happier with how this quilt has started to turn out. It is not finished. We've only gotten 3 out of the 5 layers done. Still need some more of those detail layers to go, but I am super excited to finish this up on another weekend and get it all ready to be quilted. But I just love it. It is beautiful. It is turning out so cool. Leo was so patient with me, and I just feel so lucky to have him as a friend, and especially to give me that one-on-one lesson. It was so incredible to learn the technique, and I asked him probably the same question 5, 6, 7 times in different ways because my brain was just having so much trouble wrapping around the idea of portrait quilting, but he was so kind and really walked me through everything. Very patient. He has the patience of a saint. But it turned out great, and I cannot wait to finish that one up. So be on the lookout in the future for the finished quilt top once I get those 2 more layers added. Also in the month of May, I finished up both months 5 and 6 for the Gravity quilt. I am kind of speeding along because I do want to get that quilt done, or at least the quilt top. I want to get it done before I move. So I really want to make sure that it is completed and not in pieces, because moving always is hectic and crazy, and I really don't want to lose any of the pieces in the move. So I'm making sure to get this quilt top done so that way it is done and ready to be sent off to a quilter. In fact, it may go to a quilter before I move, so that way I don't even have to worry about moving it. We'll see what the future brings, and I'm just kind of taking things as they come. But month 5 and 6 are done, and like I said, I'm going to be trying to speed through every Sunday, getting the next pieces completed, so that way I can get this quilt top done by the deadline. Also in the month of May, there are a lot of shows coming up, so I have really been very meticulous trying to make sure that I have all my quilts entered. There are several shows coming up in July and August, so really want to make sure that I have, I wanted to make sure that all my I's were crossed and T's were dotted. No, that's the other way. Anyways, really wanted to make sure everything was ready to go because I had a lot of deadlines for those entries coming up. I've entered into the Texas State Fair, into the North Texas Quilt Festival, into the Plano Quilt Show, and in the Ellis County Quilt Show. So there are 4 shows coming up. Well, I mean, the State Fair isn't really a show, but I have entered my quilts into 4 different competitions and have really, my mind was kind of spinning on where each entry needed to be and when, and I'm so glad that I have that Excel document that kind of lays everything out. By the way, if you want to check out how to enter a quilt show, I have some tips and tricks on that subject, and I'll put a link to that video down in the description below. I kind of walk you through my experiences and what I have learned. I'm definitely not an expert, but I feel like I have a good grasp on everything, and hopefully those tips will help you out as well. I'm hoping at the very least to get 1 ribbon from 1 show somewhere. We'll see how it all turns out. Now, like I said, I got a lot of quilts back from my quilter, kind of in one big burst of quilts, and I had another quilt that I finished. I worked on this quilt over when I was staying with Becca on her channel, so we actually worked on it on her channel, and did I work on it at all on my channel? I can't remember if I worked on it on my channel or not, but doesn't matter. The original video is over on Becca's channel, and I made this pattern up. I'm sure that there's similar patterns out there, but we worked on making 4 patches, and I just kind of took it and ran with it. Or actually, I think we were working with charms. It was a charm pack, and I think she made ornaments with hers, but I was just doing 4 patches. So I took those 4 patches, turned them into a quilt layout, and I'm super excited to send this quilt to its recipient. they don't know it's coming yet. But I cannot wait to get it to them and have it for them to snuggle underneath, and hopefully they will enjoy it. Now, as I was putting the binding on, I noticed that I had a seam that was open, and gosh, it always is so frustrating when that happens. So I did sew it down, but I needed a way to kind of hide the boo-boo a little bit, so I put a Band-Aid over it. Sarah Hart's has wonderful labels, and I figured this would be a great way to kind of disguise that there is a boo-boo there, so I did put a Band-Aid over it. And, you know, it's a handmade piece, and I hope the recipient understands that. I think they will. But, yeah, so it's got a little Band-Aid on it, but that's what gives it personality, right? It's a handmade object. That's what gives it personality, and I hope the recipient enjoys it. Now, I talked a little earlier about the Olympia Puzzle Mystery Quilt, but hey, did you remember that it's time to sign up for Wild West, the Puzzle Mystery Quilt from Cotton Cuts? It is their fall. Is it already, or is it the spring? Spring, fall, fall, spring. It's the spring, I think. Goodness gracious, I get so confused. They do one in the spring and they do one in the fall, and I'm having trouble keeping them straight. But anyways, it is the spring puzzle mystery quilt for 2024, Wild West. Don't forget to go sign up for your colorway, and I'm going to be working on the colorway Calamity. It is all kind of rainbow grunge. Can't wait to see what this looks like, to be honest. It is rainbow grunge, and it's going to be so much fun. I'm going to be working in the large colorway, and remember, if you're working in the large colorway, any colorway, you can follow along on my tutorial videos because I will have the large clues and can show you how it goes together. Now, also, don't forget, if you sign up for the Puzzle Mystery Quilt, use my code Ian West. Use Ian West when you check out. So make sure to use that whenever you sign up, and it will help also let Cotton Cuts know that I'm being a good influencer and sending you over there. Lets them know that I kind of helped steered you in that direction, basically. I would love for you to use my code, and it's going to be a fun quilt, and I can't wait to see what it looks like. And of course, we're working on Tree of Life. Worked on the Tree of Life clue as well this month, and love that quilt. The bright colors are just chef's kiss. Love it. It's beautiful. Can't wait to see it. And you never know what you're going to get with those and what the pattern's going to be, but I'm so loving it so far. So don't forget, sign up for Wild West, choose your colorway, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Also this month, I finished Showering Stars. I cannot wait to get that quilt into shows. It actually was not intended to be entered into shows, to be honest, but when I saw the quilting that Beth had done, I knew it needed to be on display. That gorgeous, gorgeous graffiti quilting, I was just flabbergasted, to be honest, at how beautiful it came out. Love it, and I cannot wait for everybody to see it. I was going to enter it into the state fair, but unfortunately, I can only enter one quilt per category into the state fair, and I have a really good one for the state fair that I'm excited about. But it will be in several other shows, and I can't wait to see if it wins any ribbons. Between you and me, I really hope it does, because Beth, for her quilting work on it, she deserves those ribbons as well. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, and yeah, I can't wait to see what happens. I haven't had a chance to take any good photos of it because it's been quite rainy here in North Texas. There's been tornadoes, there's been power outages, there's been hail. It's been a little crazy this spring here in North Texas, but once it gets clear, hopefully I can get some good photos with it. But I did get a photo from Beth when she finished quilting it. I just hadn't put the binding on it yet. But I did get that photo, and yeah, it's going to be absolutely gorgeous once I get some good photos of it. And I have put the quilt sleeve on it. Just need to tack it down. I wrap the binding around the quilt sleeve. That really helps lock it in. So I just need to do some hand stitching on the bottom of the quilt sleeve to get it ready for shows. Shouldn't take me too long. Now, you may have noticed earlier I said I'm going to be moving, and yes, I am going to be moving, and it's not going to be a little move. In fact, I am going to be moving out of the state of Texas and over to the state of Virginia. Many of you guessed it already, but I am going to be moving to the Northern Virginia, DC area, and I'm so excited for that. That's going to be happening in September, and I have a lot to do between now and then, including packing up all of my stuff. It is going to be a lot, but I'm super excited, and I'm trying to go ahead and start the legwork by making sure to like get rid of things that I don't need anymore, either sell or give or donate or however it works out best. I'm slowly working through just kind of downsizing a little bit because I don't need to take everything that I have, and it's time to do some spring cleaning for sure. I'm excited for this move and this new chapter in my life. I'm excited to see what the future brings, and I promise you it is going to be a lot of new adventures for everyone, and y'all and me. And yeah, I don't really know exactly what to say, but I'm nervous, I'm excited, and I can't wait to see what the future brings. This also means that I get the chance to join a new guild. So I'm going to be looking over at the DC Modern Quilt Guild. So if you're in the Modern DC Quilt Guild, let me know, because I would love to talk to you. Can't wait to see that happen, but I definitely am very anxious about it all, as I'm sure that you know moving is never fun, especially when you're moving states. So yeah, that about covers a lot of what I did in May. I don't know. Oh, I also forgot I made 2 more of those Holland pouches, and they are going to be birthday gifts for my nieces and my niece and a nephew. Cannot wait to give it to them. That's I think they're going to like it. But lots accomplished, lots more to come, lots more that needs to happen before the big move. It's going to be a busy summer for me, to say the least, but I'm so glad that you've been here with me for this journey, and I cannot wait to see what the future brings, and I hope you will continue following along in my journeys. I'm going to try and hopefully, I'm not very good at blogging, or I should say vlogging, not blogging. I'm not very good at vlogging, but I'm going to try my best to kind of document my process as I'm moving from Texas. We'll see how that goes. Bear with me, guys. It's gonna get crazy, but I know we're gonna have a lot of fun along the way. Hope you'll join me for that journey. And yeah, that pretty much wraps up everything in May. We'll see what June has in store for me. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and don't forget, normal is just a setting on the dryer. Bye.